So I've got Marcus on the table here. We just did we'll describe it. It's a camel, but what kind of camel? Turkish camel?
It's a Moroccan camel with a
Yeah.
particular saddle that's particular to Morocco to commemorate a trip that we went on a couple years ago with the Moroccan star in the middle.
Right. So we've got a little bit more gray wash to go on it. And then we're going to talk about some of his other tattoos, because Marcus is what I call one of my showcase clients. He's got a lot of interesting work going way, way back. So I'm going to hand the camera to him and administer just a little bit more gray wash. Fine tune it a little bit. See, I think the first time Marcus came in here, he had a copy of Thrasher magazine, and it had this abstract swirl of like sparkles and stars and stuff in the in this ad that he wanted adapted into a tattoo, and it was pretty challenging, but it actually turned out pretty
on the other
good.
side.
It's on the other side. We'll focus on that.
I remember that. It was a 2-page ad, and it went across both pages, but it was sort of across the bottom of the page, and it just really caught my eye, and I was trying to think of something to do with it.
Do you still skateboard, or was that just...
Oh, not as much as I used to, but
yeah.
I do. Just enough to say I still do.
I don't know.
Nothing too crazy where I have to get up and go to work in the morning.
It was before the dreadlocks and everything, right?
Oh, years before that. I would say probably about 95 or 6.
And then you came in with Jeremy.
Well, that's when we were roommates at the time. Cause,
right.
Yeah, he got a brain on his arm because he was the brains of the group, and I got the heart on my arm because I was the heart on my sleeve. And I still talk to him, and obviously we both still have a tattoo.
Well, yeah, you both come a long way. When Jeremy started his own, their own business downtown, I had a rental house thing, and
yeah, it's going really good.
you're working at the Ford plant in Wayne.
I just had my 25 years there last weekend. Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah, I say the same thing. So that's kind of like, with it, I'll be 50 years old this year, so that's literally half of my life. So it's really become sort of a gauge on sort of things that I, like I was saying, when the first couple times I had come here, it was before I had worked at my current job, so I know that it was over 25 years ago.
But yeah, all of Marcus's tattoos have sort of a story behind them, so it's really interesting. I was just comparing him earlier to the character in Ray Bradbury's Illustrated Man, the traveling hobo. It's covered with these tattoos, and each one of them has this interesting story behind it. And sure enough, all of Marcus's tattoos have interesting and kind of quirky anecdotes and stories behind them.
I always try to have at least one or two reasons. Usually, it'll be something from my childhood I remember, and I can kind of correlate to something we've either done or a trip me and my wife had gone on or something.
Right, so have layers of meaning.
But I always think it's funny. I use the example, and this was years ago, one of my line foremans at work. He said, I thought Marcus had the most ridiculous tattoos. Till he explained them to me, he's actually got the most sensible tattoos.
That makes perfect sense.
So I like to get, kind of offbeat, quirky things. But then, when you explain it to people, well, when I was a child, we did this, or we had traveled there, or I knew this person. And then people say,
so what are the three teeth? The three teeth.
This is one of my early ones, too. I had some teeth extracted, and I thought it would be funny to...
I like that one.
In memory of my missing teeth. That was one of my very early ones as well.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite ones for some reason. It's very straightforward, but I can never remember the story behind it.
My roommate at the time, well, his girlfriend at the time, was studying either dentistry or dental hygienist or something like that, so he drew a lot of teeth. So he actually drew that one from one of her...
Oh, you didn't draw that yourself?
No, he drew that from one of her textbooks or school books or something.
Well, I think we are done. So we'll move this stuff out of the way and take the camera back. And get out of your way. And focus on and get a good shot of this tattoo, and also talk about some of your other tattoos. I know we're both kind of a little contorting a little bit for this particular tattoo. Well, here, let's see what we got on this leg. We got the Ukrainian symbol on the back there.
That was another early one.
Yeah. Made it kind of chromy with a chromy looking.
That's one of my favorite ones. That's off the Free Press weather page.
Right.
Ironically, it's off
cloud.
the weather. I saved the newspaper from 1997 because it was the 20th anniversary of Elvis Presley's death. And actually went back to the weather page and got that picture.
This is the Hawaiian flower, obviously.
Yeah, I collect
he
Hawaiian
wears Hawaiian
shirts.
shirts all the time.
So that's the flower off my favorite Hawaiian shirt.
Isn't there a story behind you choking on a fish bone
There
at
is.
dinner?
When I was a kid, my dad went fishing, and it was smallmouth bass, and he had said, clean the fish, and we ate them for dinner. And as soon as he said, be careful, there may be some small bones,
You choked
I instantly said, I think I have a bone stuck in my throat. So everyone started laughing. I actually had to go to the hospital and had it extracted. It was impaled through my tongue.
Not a laughing matter.
So that's a smallmouth bass skeleton.
So what's on the other side of that leg? There's a candelabra.
The English line. That one I actually got in English.
A wasp or a bee. I want to get a good shot of the Ukrainian dancing girl.
Yes, Michigan. One of my favorites here is the lemon and the cherry.
The cocktail.
This other one people don't see often.
Maybe later, yeah.
It's supposed to help me.
And there's the three.
Oh, this is interesting. Look, I got this. I got this key in New York, and I still have it. We use this for that.
Oh, that's the one we used for.
Yeah, because you can see where the number is, and we substituted my address for it.
The traffic cone with the
road cone angel.
Yeah, the crossed.
Drumsticks.
Drumsticks. Toucan.
That's from a trip we did to Costa Rica.
Picked corn in Indiana.
I did. I lived in Indiana, detasseled. This lotus I got when we got back from China.
Right. The 45 adapter.
There's the big star
There's
thing.
the big
sparkle
thing from Thrasher magazine.
I like the way it kind of incorporates.
Yeah.
It's sort of. I mean, this was standalone.
It does
but
fit together nicely.
Yeah, it kind of.
What kind of flower are those called?
These are the tiger lilies from my backyard.
Swordfish is up here.
The flying fish.
Flying fish, okay.
A slice of pizza.
The two, explain the eyes. If people don't live in Detroit, they might not have seen
They
those.
have these posters that they put up for Devil's Night every year. They have the two big eyes on them, and it says, this house is being watched for Devil's Night arson.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I live in Mexican town now, so we get them in Spanish, but I just feel it's something that I've been looking at all my life.
I remember that one was fun. I was blind by the time it was over with because it's so detailed.
Yeah, that one hurt in here too.
I'll bet.
But we went to Thailand, Vietnam, and Cambodia. We really liked. We called it our Southeast China rice noodle bowl tour, and I actually got this on a T-shirt, like a really flimsy T-shirt. I'm like, if I wash this once, it's gonna flake off, so I figured I'd get it more permanently right there.
Let me get out of your way so you can get off the table, because you got a bunch of other stuff on your arms and torso and stuff. I'll tell you the salt shaker is one of my favorites for sure. That one turned out really nice. It's subtle. It's straightforward.
Yeah, and you have the half full, half empty thing going on too. I like the factory rat and the night owl.
And the owl.
Now the 313, I waited till 2011 so I could say that I got it at Detroit's 313th year. Existence.
Hinges.
The hinges
inside
old
both
sailor thing.
Crooks of the arm.
This is one of my favorites too. When I got that's the bolt off my first job. I saved it for 10 years. Then when I had my 10 years seniority at the plant, I got the bolt off my first job. And I was just saying I just had my 15-year seniority, as a matter of fact, last weekend.
Guitar pick.
That one was fun because...
Squid, the video game Squid.
Yeah, I like the old Nintendo 8-bit. That was a gift to myself for my 40th birthday.
There's some, what is this, another fish-like koi?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a lucky Chinese thing, so I wanted to look like he was encircling
Best idea ever.
That's the Edison
light bulb.
Another travel-oriented, homeward bound.
Yeah. That lettering is getting a little homeward bound. That's getting a little hard to read.
That's an older one. I think that was one of the first ones on the back of my arms. Actually, I can...
Oh, he's going to do the...
It'd be easier than trying to...
his torso.
Explain things.
He's got tattoos in some very sensitive spots.
I
I'm telling
know.
ya.
I need
Some of
to.
this stuff, the taco time,
And it's on my
the
gut.
crossed fork and knife, the
Elvis's TCB.
Elvis TCB and autograph, the Liberty Bell,
I was showing someone just at work today. I have a picture of me in front of the Liberty Bell with my Liberty Bell tattoo. And then the buffalo. When we were kids, we always went to, my dad's family was in Philadelphia, my mom's family was in Buffalo. So those are kind of the two.
Poison ivy, the
dodo bird.
Dodo.
That's what my mom used to call me and my sister. Don't be a dodo bird.
Stalks of wheat.
I like this because it was a building process. We kind of did this first,
Right, yeah.
then did this. Or no, then I think the roses, then these, and then kind of to tie. I love the way this is all tied in together.
Yeah,
the clouds, and then
fits in there
kind of makes
nicely.
it. So that's one of my jokes. People say, how many tattoos do you have? I say, well, not as many as I used to, which puzzles people.
You're born in '74, obviously. Factory rat.
The factory rat and the night owl.
Find the what do you call that?
Comet.
Comet. The Baba Yaga
Baba Yaga's
house. The maple leaf, or
So
no, that's
oak
an oak
leaf.
leaf.
Yeah, that's again a reference to my childhood. The people next door had oak trees.
There's an
and
elephant back there.
There it is.
Crab. Is that an astrological reference? Or?
No, we go to Baltimore every year, and we have for like 20 years. So we are, and the blue crab's in season there, and we're also big fans of food. So it's
The Day of the Dead skull.
yeah, that's
Southwest
another one of my
Detroit.
favorite ones.
Yeah.
I earned that one. That one really hurt with all that detail.
That one on the inside of the bicep.
I
yeah.
still remember it.
I always like that one too. The barrel full of monkeys.
Yeah, that was the early one.
The
Like the
hot sauce.
Molotov
hot sauce. The
Ren.
Ren.
My wife's nickname's Ren, so I got a Jenny
Little
Ren.
bird told him.
It's like whisper in my ear.
The American ASL, American Sign Language for, does it say what?
Yes, it does.
WHAT. So if someone says, what does that mean? You can say, what?
The little girl called me out in line at Cedar Point one time.
She said,
Did you get that on your arm? So when people ask you what it
Yeah.
says, you say what? I was
So
like,
she got it, actually.
Get out of
There's
my
a
face.
sword thing going through his
Oh, that's
neck.
another one of my favorite
That's
ones.
fun. Do you have anything in your back at all?
I don't.
Nothing. Your whole back is open except for the tiger. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my next project.
So-
I'm starting out. I would like to do it the way we kind of did
Yeah.
our chest with a centerpiece,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe try and tie things in together like that too.
When I found out that Marcus's dad was an old-time sign painter, I was fascinated too. I have yet to meet him, but I accidentally found this gospel record in at one of the resale shops, and it had Kyrillic, which is Marcus's
Not a very common last name.
I'm like, that sounds familiar. And then I realized that it had to have been a relative of Marcus's. It's his father. His father is not only an old-time sign painter, but he did put out a gospel record.
Well, it was always music when we were kids.
Yeah.
My dad led the choir in our church, when we were children, and always, sang at the Christmas service. And
Well, there were a few copies of this record for sale. I bought them for 50 cents each, and got Marcus to take it, and he got his dad and your aunt to sign it. 'cause
Or
they
Tino Melanchuk, yeah,
'cause they
friend
were
of my
both on
dad.
the
We're not
record,
related,
yeah.
but she's always
Yeah.
been with the family. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's cool, and this is exactly the kind of. It wasn't like a stretch for me. I collect those kind of records, so it was really cool that I find out that this is Marcus's dad. Holy shit!
And my dad painted the cover. It's praying hands and a Bible and
Well, that was his
background.
art too.
And my sister
So-
was able to track down the original painting through someone's. I mean, they had passed on now because they were older, but they're grown children.
They actually found the painting.
Somehow
Yeah.
had it, and it was someone that was friends with my parents and their, at the time. And
Wow.
my sister found it, and they sent it to her, and she put it on the wall. My dad came over. She didn't say anything. He walked in and looked at it.
Well, I want to meet your dad someday. I think I'm going to do some more video stuff and see if I can maybe set up an informal interview and ask him about the sign
Oh, he's a
painting,
talker.
sign
I know.
painting
I don't
and
think
stuff.
you would
So
mind. You probably.
that would be very cool. But anyway, Marcus has agreed to follow me to my next location, a Cherokee
Absolutely.
Creek Tattoo on
Absolutely.
Ford Road in Garden City. Marcus is from Garden City, in fact. And I think his dad lives pretty damn close to
Yeah, right around the corner now.
close to that shop.
So yeah, I'm out that way. I work out that way.
that will
so
be
it's not bad.
convenient, yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this is one last look at the place. And what year would it have been when you first came in for those tattoos? 90?
I was saying I started the plan in '99, so that would have been when I would say '96.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I would say probably.
So yeah, I was pretty new here at that point too.
I think you were down a couple storefronts that
Yeah,
at the time.
they did move us a couple doors down.
And I think it was a narrower.
So I keep saying with every one of these Last Ink videos that they're the last one that I'm doing here, but I really think this is the last one. Tomorrow I'm starting to tear down my setup, and I won't be able to do anything. I'm going to take the flash down, try to clear all this stuff out, and take it over to Ford Road. And well, I thank you, Marcus, for all these years of loyalty, and
I'm honored to be the last person here. I feel it's the end of an era. I've been coming here for 30 years now, so
yeah, I thought it was completely appropriate to get you in here, so that was cool.
Yeah, thank you again for that.
So
we will see each other again. I have other ideas rattling around in there.
Very cool. All right.